This is a question asked in July 2021, question number 3C. Explain the indicative risk matrix of each stages of the funding for venture capital financing. Next is venture capital investment process. So over here they have provided to us an explanation like this. Venture capital has raised funds, or they have pulled funds from the different investors. Now whenever anybody comes for the purpose of financing their startup, then how the venture capital is going to make the investment in any startup is what they have explained us over here. The deal origination, that is somebody who will come for the application. Screening, in that the venture capital professional will see that whether this kind of business is really likely to grow or not, based on the pitch presentation of the borrower, or we can say that not borrower exactly, but say the startup initiative. Due diligence, so you have to make a visit to certain places just to make sure that whatever that they claim, is that true or not. Deal structuring, terms and conditions finalization, so wherein you will finalize that these are the terms and conditions. This is what the percentage of the equity share that you are going to buy. You will be having the place in the board, or you will be having a certain say in any of the decision. Post investment activity, so once you make investment, after that how you are going to ask for the reports from that that company, to make sure that the company is doing the business as per certain norms, or whatever they had given a kind of commitment to us, that they are going to use certain funds in this way only, whether they are using the funds in that way or not. And once the business will grow, you will have an exit plan, that now you will sell your investment. This is what venture capital investment process. So again over here the sequence is important. Deal, or that is origination, screening, then deal structuring, so that means the terms and conditions are finalized, post investment and exit plan. The entire venture capital investment process can be segregated into the following steps. Deal origination, venture capital operates directly through intermediaries, directly or through intermediaries. Mainly, many practicing chartered accountants would work as intermediary, and through them venture capital gets the deal. Before sourcing the deal, venture capital would inform the intermediary or its employee about the following. Sector focus, that we are going to make investment in certain sectors only. They may not want to promote certain sectors, so they may feel that these factors are not likely to have good future. Stages of the business focus, because we know that there are different stages in which the funds can be given. Promoters focus, turnover focus. Here the company would give a detailed business plan which consists of the business model, financial plan and exit plan. So over here that says somebody who wants funds is required to submit all these things. All these aspects are covered in a document which is called IM, Investment Memorandum. A tentative valuation is also carried in IM. Screening, once the deal is sourced, the same would be sent for the screening by venture capitalist. The screening is generally carried out by the committee consisting of the senior level people of the venture capital. Once the screening happens, it would select the company for further processing. Due diligence, the screening decision would take place based on the information, see whatever the information that they have provided. Once the decision is taken to proceed further, venture capital would now carry out due diligence. This is mainly the process by which the venture capital would try to verify veracity of the documents taken. This is generally handled by external bodies, Mainly it is by the renowned consultants. The fees of the due diligence are generally paid by the venture capitalist. However, in many cases this can be shared between the investors and investee depending upon the facts of the document agreement. Deal structuring. So the terms and conditions of the finalization. Once the case passes through the due diligence, it would now go through the deal structuring. The deal is structured in such a way that both the parties win. In many cases, the convertible structure is brought to ensure that the promoter retain right to buy back the share. Besides, in many structures, to facilitate the exit, the venture capital may put a condition that the promoter has to sell part of its stake along with the venture capitalist. Such a clause is called tag along clause. So basically what happens at say, the venture capitalist will make sure that say you also have to sell certain portion of your holding, otherwise say we will not be able to get the valuation. If at all your certain holding is also going to be sold, in that case you will be interested to make sure that the value of the investment is say fairly valued. Post investment. In this section, the venture capital nominates its nominee in the board of the company. The company has to adhere certain guidelines like strong management information system, budgeting, strong corporate governance, other covenants, that is the conditions of the venture capital, and periodically keep venture capital updated about certain milestones. So whatever the sales that say you had projected, are you able to meet with that or not? Certain expansions that say you had committed, are you doing that expansion or not? Something like that. If the milestones has not been met by the company, has to give explanation to the venture capital. Besides, venture capital would also ensure that the professional management is set up in the company. Exit plan. Settlement plan for the redemption of the investment. At the time of investing, venture capital would ask the promoter or the company to spell out in detail that say how we will sell our investment, how we will exit from your investment. Mainly exit plan happens in two ways. One is to sell to the third party. The sell can be in form of IPO or private placement to other venture capital financiers. The second way to exit is that the promoter would buy a buyback, that is commitment with a pre-agreed rate of return of 18 to 25%. So one is that say we will convert this into a public company, or otherwise the promoters will buy say the share of the venture capital. In that case, so the return will be given to the venture capitalist would be as high as 18 to 25% of the internal rate of return. In case the exit is not happening in form of IPO or third party sale, the promoter would buy back. In many deals, the promoter buyback is the first refusal method adopted. First refusal method means that the promoter will be given the first right set to buy the shares. If at all the promoter says that say no, I do not want to buy, only in that case those shares can be sold to the outsiders. That is, promoter would get the first right of the buyback. So this is the venture capital process that we have: deal negotiation, screening, due diligence, deal structuring, post investment, and exit plan.